Why do I feel trapped unless I know every secret, every lie, every truth hidden behind his eyes? It began in January 2020, a whirlwind romance. Got married in April 2024. It felt destined. Before I could pause to breathe, we were expecting our first child. Suddenly, leaving felt impossible. The idea of raising my baby alone terrified me. It was easier to ignore the whispers, easier to believe his apologies. But soon, ignoring became impossible. His phone buzzed at odd hours, hushed conversations in the shadows. Each confrontation met with denial, anger, then guilt-driven apologies. I clung to hope, desperate to salvage the fantasy I'd built in my mind. He knew exactly how to charm everyone around us. Family, friends, even strangers adored him. In public, he showered me with affection, held my hand tight, painted a perfect picture. Behind closed doors, that mask fell away, and loneliness became my closest friend. I began to wonder, was it me? Was I unlovable? Was I an annoyance, disposable, easily forgotten? In the mirror, my reflection no longer felt mine. I barely recognized myself beneath layers of self-doubt and shame. In a final act of hope, we turned to faith, attending church, praying to God that we could mend this broken love. But faith alone couldn't heal the wounds carved by betrayal. Still, blinded by fleeting moments of happiness, we planned a future. Another baby, a beautiful wedding. Perhaps I thought these milestones would change him. The wedding was perfect, small, intimate. Our daughter as the flower girl, laughter and vows promising forever in the sacred silence of our church. But even then, darkness lingered. On our wedding night, as I dreamt of our future, he was betraying me once again. 3 months passed, and during a routine pregnancy checkup, the betrayal surfaced, an STD. As if breaking my heart wasn't enough, he accused me, twisted reality, making me question my own sanity. In that moment, the truth hit me like a storm. It was never going to stop. I had to leave. But just as I prepared to step away, life dealt another blow. My father, my rock, passed away. Grief-stricken, I stood helpless, holding his hand as life left his eyes. And at my weakest moment, my husband returned, promising to become the support I needed, begging forgiveness, insisting he'd change. I chose to believe again, desperate for comfort. He promised stability, convinced me to rely on him, to quit my job, to trust him fully. But the promises quickly shattered. Secrets crawled from every corner, hidden dating apps, explicit messages, money secretly transferred to women he barely knew. Every discovery chipped away at my hope, leaving me hollow, empty. When I confronted him again, he flipped the script, called me paranoid, controlling, told me I was living in the past, that I should move on, accept his words rather than his actions. Each apology felt rehearsed, empty words repeated countless times. Finally, exhausted by the lies, I suggested divorce, thinking perhaps separation could be peaceful, mature, civil for our children's sake. His response was brutal, heartless. He threatened to leave me destitute, mocked my dependency, said he'd enjoy watching me fail. He even claimed he'd never care for our kids unless a court forced him to. As I lie awake beside him, his breath steady, oblivious, I feel no love, only confusion. I don't want him, but I'm haunted by a single question. Why? Why did he marry me only to betray me repeatedly? Why was loyalty impossible for him? Why couldn't he just stop? I'm stuck, longing desperately for a peaceful ending, hoping against logic and reason that he'll change. But every rational thought tells me he won't. He can't. So why am I still here, silently crying, still ashamed to seek help from my family? Why do I still believe in a fairy tale ending that he's proven impossible? Maybe I'm holding on because letting go means admitting defeat. But perhaps the true victory lies in finally walking away. Perhaps the happy ending I've always dreamed of begins the moment I choose myself.